These seminars are an important part of Wales Audit Office's work. We see it as an important contribution that we can make to improving the public sector by bringing people together to share their own experience and their own learning, as well as accessing learning and experience internationally, really. And this is a good example today because we've got international developments such as the Integrated Reporting Council's initiative, and we've also got a practical example of that being put to work at the UK level with the Crown Estate, and then we've got our own homegrown learning from the City and Council of Swansea, where they've got a long tradition of developing their approach to sustainable development.
Well, the purpose of this seminar is really to allow us to prepare the ground for the Future Generations Bill. People are very busy in terms of their day-to-day lives, running local authorities, delivering public services across Wales. And so this is an opportunity to really just to prepare the ground for what is coming, which is the Future Generations Bill. A really important piece of legislation from Welsh Government, which will take us forward in terms of sustainable development in Wales. Sustainable development has always been at the heart of devolution. This is the next step. And really it's putting into legislation a framework for the public sector in terms of how the public sector makes decisions and how we establish a common framework with a common set of goals, a common purpose, a common set of measures in respect of how we're going to develop for the long term in Wales. So it's setting our long-term development path. So quite a lot to think about, quite a lot to prepare the ground for. It's going to be introduced into the Assembly in the summer. Hopefully, if it all goes through, Royal Assent will be in 2015, and then the duty will come in a phased way, but it will come to affect the public sector from 2016 forward.
The purpose of my workshop was really to identify what are the key factors in taking a sustainable development strategy forward. So for me, the message I like to get across is that it is both complex and simple. If you break it down into its basics, it's about people, planet and prosperity. So that's the social aspect, the environmental aspect and the economic. And you take those as an organisation and look hard at them and say to yourself, are we making the best use of those resources? The people that we work with, the people that we provide services to, the economy in terms of the assets we use, but also the wealth we create, and the environment in terms of the natural resources we use, and also our impact on those going forward. So it's both looking at these three areas as they come into the organisation, understanding how you use them, are you making best use, and then what's the resulting impact from those three areas on the other side, as it were.
The focus is around integrated reporting, and this is a market-led initiative that's been brought about by a coalition of organisations that come together that have said corporate reporting needs to change. There's issues around financial stability and sustainability, and ensuring that those issues are addressed by the market, by business coming together and reporting in a different way, but using reporting as a tool to change business behaviour. I said this is a market-led initiative, so what I'm meaning is that we've actually got engagement with a number of organisations, and part of that is through our pilot programme. So we work with over 100 organisations, which include public sector like the Crown Estate and Greenwich Clinical Commissioning Group, to help test the materials that we're developing and also share their thought leadership in terms of corporate reporting with us. The things that integrated reporting really wants to get across is around the value that an organisation provides, and it's thinking who is that to. So in the context of the public sector, that may be to society or to customers, people that you provide services to. But also it's about value, but critically, what are the outcomes? That may be in the context of sustainable development goals or particular priorities that an organisation is trying to achieve, and to be able to demonstrate those outcomes and not get caught in a compliance system in terms of reporting.
The workshop today that I was running at the Future Generations Bill Summit with the Welsh Audit Office, we were focusing mainly on how integration is going to be an essential part of what we're doing with the Future Generations Bill. So at the Crown Estate, what we've been looking at over the last couple of years is how we can integrate our thinking and have one approach to what we're doing rather than what we had before, which was a siloed approach where we had sustainability and we had a business approach here. And now what we're trying to do is throw both of those away and have a new question. So we're not trying to answer one question for finance, one question for sustainability. What we're doing is we're answering a new question about how do we create value. And that really changes the way that our business thinks. And by looking at value creation, we start asking different questions about ourselves and about how we engage with other people. Now, how does this relate back to the Future Generations Bill? Well, there's a great opportunity here with the bill coming through later this year to start thinking about what integration really means. And if we're really going to make this work for Wales, then what we need to do is we need to have sustainability integrated within things. And there are ways now coming through that are not going to add additional work for people, but what they're going to do is they're going to help to simplify that, and we've got to make sure that comes through here. So with integration, what we've done by asking this new question is we've now produced a different way of engaging and reporting with people that is actually making a difference in the way that we actually have engagement with our stakeholders, telling them what they want to know. And I guess one of the greatest compliments that we've had from our reporting process and all that we've been through so far is that people are now actually reading what we produce, and that makes a big difference.
I think the main thrust of my presentation this morning was around how sustainable development reporting, sustainability reporting for us has been a tool for us to engage and with people across our organisation at all different levels within our organisation around how sustainability is material to their core business, and how we can use by taking a more sustainable approach. What they're doing is making the core business and their services more sustainable, more able to deliver sustainable outcomes for the communities that we're in place to support. And as such, it shouldn't be the report itself shouldn't be perceived as something that would the thrust of the report shouldn't be really about producing a bit of paper which has a list of data metrics and how great we're doing or improving on 70% or staying the same on 3 or whatever, but more around how you from the start to beginning of producing that report, you're using every step as an opportunity to start talking to people about how sustainable development is relevant for the work that they do and the outcomes that they're trying to deliver.